I mean, why did OnePlus really do this? We understand that due to the pandemic and lockdown and a sudden work from home culture, it must not have been easy to suddenly make a new iteration of an already solid phone. But well, they anyway did. So here's the review of the OnePlus 8T. Hey everyone, Mukul here. So I have used the OnePlus 8T for about 15 days now with my main SIM in it, and here is my final review of it, because now the phone will be going away from me. So yeah, this is the final review. Most of the reviewers start with the design, and even if for this review I chose not to, then also I would have to, because this is one of the major downgrades of this phone. There is a Gorilla Glass 5 all over the phone, so the protection is quite good, but the feel of the back here is really disappointing, especially on this blue color. I feel the silver might just look better, but hey, this is subjective. I mean, you can love all the blue you want in your life. And it only got disappointing this time around because they did so good with the OnePlus 8 design. I mean, in contrast, the 8 will feel so much more superior, especially in your hand without any covers on it. But hey, if you put back covers on your phone, then you lose all your rights to complain about this, so stop whining, like me. And if you are one of those who used to scream that they love flat screens rather than curved screens because a few YouTubers said so, then this is your moment of win. The 8T screen is 120Hz, HDR10+, and flat like the earth. But the flat screen here has these tiny curves on the edges, and hence that made it feel as good as any other screen in actual usage. Personally, I don't mind either of them. They should just feel right in the hand, and the 8T does that comfortably, so no complaints here. The screen is definitely brighter and has a wider contrast ratio too on the 8T. I say brighter as when I compare the display of the 8T to the 8, the 8T had more details on the shadowy area of a video. To me, the difference between using a 90Hz and a 120Hz screen wasn't huge. Unless you game a lot on the phone, the difference wouldn't feel drastic. I also kinda ruined the slight variation by increasing my animation speeds to 0.5x in developer settings, so that just reduces any slight difference even more. Remember the infamous OnePlus 8 Pro screen issue, and which made a lot of users and consumers kind of conscious before they jump into buying a OnePlus phone? Well, because of all that, I do feel the compulsion of sharing that there were these apparent white patchy spots and minimum brightness on the 8T if you choose to play a complete black video for some reason. I mean, there is literally nothing to worry about here. All the different screen panels behave a little differently, so yeah, chill. Well, there is no SD card support, no IP ratings, and no already dead 3.5mm jack on the phone. I love the convenience of wire-free music streaming, but just hate remembering to charge one more device in my life. So I bought a dongle which I have lost with the earphones which were attached to it. So yeah, press F to pay respects. But despite having no IP ratings, I'm pretty sure the phone can take a light rain hit. But yeah, don't take chances anyway. In my use, somehow I felt that the 8T had even better signal reception on it as compared to the 8. Be it Wi-Fi or phone calls with or without Wi-Fi calling. The reception overall was rock solid, but not as solid as a rock which will come and hit you on the head. The speakers are also a bit of an upgrade coming from the OnePlus 8. They do sound a little bit wider and hence louder, as wider is directly proportional to something louder for some odd reason which I just made up. There is also support for Dolby Atmos for your Bluetooth headphones or earphones. I had the pleasure of listening to music on these on my edifiers, but I'm not a hardcore audiophile, so I could really not feel any difference with that feature on the phone. So you can either blame me or blame them for not implementing it well enough to notice an improvement. The gaming performance is a replica of gaming on the OnePlus 8. There are extra vapor chambers inside the phone to chamber your vapors, to maintain the heat dissipation, but during my session with the phone, the top part did certainly feel apparently warm. So here's a tip to fix this. Just ignore it. Chips do heat up at massive workloads, so let's just get over it. And if a phone ever bursts in your hand, then my deepest sympathies. The phone charging speed is one of the definite upgrades if you own a OnePlus 7 or even a OnePlus 8 series, or as a matter of fact even the OnePlus 8 Pro. The 65 watt fast charging is almost twice as fast. And they managed to do this with a charger which feels and almost weighs the same as their 30 watt charger, so a nice engineering feat. The cameras do have an upgrade too. They increased a massive 3 megapixel in their macro camera, so the 8T is definitely a better camera phone. Just leave everything else and get it. Well, the addition of a 5 megapixel macro and a monochrome sensors are mostly just paper additions. During the daytime, the differences between both the cameras are almost negligible. The videos and selfies mostly look the same and feel the same. The macros are better on the 8T, but still I can't see everyone appreciating its quality yet. The 8T cameras perform slightly better than the 8 during the nighttime on the nightscape mode, but just ever so slightly. Definitely not as massive as the 8 Pro. I mean, if you currently own a 7T or a 7 Pro or an 8, it would be foolish to upgrade to 8T just for the cameras. The 8 Pro is a better camera phone than these two phones, but to be honest, I paid way less in owning an 8 than 8 Pro, so I saved that sweet money and wasted somewhere else. I've actually compared all of these camera phones together in a much and more details. I will put their links in the description below. The battery of this phone just fares around what I used to get with the OnePlus 8. The bump in battery capacity is clearly compensated with the bump in the screen refresh rate of 120Hz. So what makes this phone good like any other OnePlus phone is the Oxygen OS. And this one comes with Android 11 out of the box. So the usage experience is mostly silky smooth. And you would know what that is if you have ever felt silk. But I have not. And still I'm saying that. For some reason the phone doesn't come with the Oxygen OS dialer app. I mean, it won't be an issue for the majority of people until you try and record a call.
This call is now being recorded.
And the announcement kind of leaves you awkward as the person from the other end asks, why the fish are you recording the damn call? There were definitely few bugs with the version of the OS though. Like how Google Pay authentication from the bank didn't work sometime. And sometimes pictures that were taken in the nightscape just didn't get saved. And then you see them there after a few minutes. Of course, I couldn't record those shots as whenever it happened, I wasn't recording. A classic case of how sometimes you can't replicate a gadget's problem when the technician is standing right over your head. In other features, you can really modify the colors of the screen, and the always-on display is finally here on the OnePlus devices with the Android 11 update. And there is a new kind of sexy face lock animation on the 8T, which is extremely fast and snappy. I mean the face unlock. But I do feel the animating wallpaper makes the unlocking process feel a bit slow. So yeah, turn it off. And the fingerprint unlock is as good too and fast. But sometimes I really do feel that the face unlock is faster, which also worked more than half of the times in complete darkness too. One of the recent updates on the 8T did show that it is installing the Amazon app by default in the phone, which caused a stir on social media, but after the update I found out that I could easily uninstall the app, which actually amplified my limited knowledge of how complex humans can be. I mean, businesses are here to do business and not charity. What the hell is wrong with you people? And one other instance actually complicated my understanding of humans even more. These phones are big, and so Samsung took an initiative and make the One UI easily accessible by putting the topmost options of a phone to around the mid of the screen, so that our hands can easily reach it. So OnePlus, like a good company, adopted this UI design change on the Oxygen OS too. But then many humans got furious and thrashed OnePlus for adopting this change, and still bought the phone anyway. See, we are complex beings. I mean, you're a complex being. I'm a bot. So apart from these features, you can, as usual, draw circles to open up the torch, play with more always-on display features, and play with horizontal lights which illuminates the edges on the screen as you get a notification. And you can also activate few apps right from the fingerprint unlocking area. So yeah, typical Oxygen OS customizations are here with the 8T2 because it's also a OnePlus phone, and like all the other OnePlus phones, it also comes with Oxygen OS. So yeah. I feel for the price it is coming at, I really can't recommend any other phone apart from maybe the Mi 10T Pro, which might just have a better primary sensor on it. But if you are someone who is used to the snappiness of Oxygen OS, then it will be really hard to make amends in life to adopt the MIUI. MIUI comes with a buttload of features but doesn't feel as refined in terms of fluidity on the Oxygen OS. If you want to know more about the upgrades or downgrades 8T has over the OnePlus 8, then you should definitely see the video where I compared both of them directly. So yeah, leave a like and sub with the bell if this video helped you in any way. I hope it bloody did. Stay safe humans, Mewbot out. I hope it bloody did. Is it a threat?